More often than not, we become distracted from our dreams. We see something that looks more doable, something that allows us to be comfortable. However, we fail to realize that we can never rid nor silence what we are most passionate about. Our dreams will constantly remind us of their presence, giving us the feeling of wanting and needing more out of life. Some choose to ignore the signs, and some, like Ronald Draper, choose to step out of their comfort zone, pursue their true passions and dreams, and admirably so, push through any obstacle that comes their way.
So pardon me if I sound like I'm gloating, but for the first time in a while, it may sound crazy, but I'm really proud of myself. Like, this is new for me.
Ronald Draper, Dare to Dream.
We thought he was going to be a lawyer. We really did. Because he didn't want to draw. He said, I don't want a part of this anymore. I'm not doing this. I begged him to make me an album cover for my album. I haven't gotten it yet.
I figured law was something that I would be really good at, so I kind of just pursued that for no other reason. Just, hey, I thought I'd be good at it. Like, I was gung-ho, graduated, got a job on Wall Street.
And he went to Wall Street and he absolutely loved it. He just made a good impression on his bosses and everything. So, okay, you don't want to draw? Okay, but I felt really bad.
Then it kind of just got boring. I was like, this is it. Like, lawyers do nothing but paperwork.
I wouldn't say that he was unhappy because he did enjoy that and he was good at it when he was working on Wall Street, but it wasn't like, it's not his end-all be-all.
He needed something more, didn't know what the more was. Wasn't sure if it was just that law firm, wasn't sure if it was just law in particular, maybe just that particular sector of law.
He might have felt a little guilty, a little guilt from his dad's death because of them being there, but not there. His dad died and he could work and work and work and do something and get lost in this.
And my father was probably the closest person I've ever lost up until that point. And I really didn't know how to kind of cope. So the first thing I did, I remember a friend of mine still has his drawing. The day my father passed, or the day we buried him, the funeral rather, there's a piece of bed that like broke off that I had. I drew this whole thing on it and gave it to her. She still has it sitting in her house. And she will never let it go. She's like, I remember you doing this right after you came from the funeral. And then I kind of just realized getting back into art is something I can do to get, like Melissa, get lost and kind of just find a way to kind of just cope with certain things. Superstar Sandy was 2012. Like, working in Wall Street, I was out of work for 2 weeks because the offices were all flooded. You couldn't go anywhere below maybe 14th Street at that time. I was in the house, stuck with a bunch of materials.
We had like these square-foot mirrors in the house. And I was like doing my makeup and playing around with makeup and creating looks, and he started like playing around with some painter's tape and some spray paint that we had in the house. And it was one of his first mirrored pieces, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, that looks amazing. He was like, oh, it's cool.
I remember I put the first thing on Instagram, so it was like, how much for that? I'm like, wait, I didn't even know what? How much for what? This? It's like, yeah, how much for that? I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't really sell work, but whatever, I'm not really gonna turn it down. I think I sold it for like 40 bucks or something like that. I guess going into that, it was like, yo, this felt good. And I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do from it, but like, it felt good.
The more he did it, that's all he could think about. And of course, the more he did it, the more I supported that. And I just felt like, you know, if, you know, slowly he realized his heart wasn't in being on Wall Street.
April of 2014, or April 2013, my apologies, like my first art show with Raw Artists. I was excited, so you know, I'm gonna take like 2-week vacation to kind of get this work done for this show. There's something in me to say, well, hell with this show, just quit.
And when he said to me, he's like, I think I'm gonna quit my job. I was just like, okay. Well, then just do it.
2012, after this Raw show, I felt like I was on top of it. They were like, I'm the man, got a few orders in. So I started looking at gallery spaces. And like, I thought, hey, my work is good. I can walk up to a gallery, say, hey, listen, this is my work. Here's my portfolio, whatever it was at that time. And hey, you're gonna show my work. Nope. To this day, No gallery I reached out to ever, like, even replied to an email.
We've had some pretty bad moments. We've had moments where he was making no money. We had moments where people weren't buying anything. One day I came home and I went to like turn on the light and the light wouldn't come on. So I'm just like, okay, the bulb blew or something? And then I went and none of the lights were on. And I was just like, oh, okay, so our lights are on. And you know, I'm calling Con Ed and I'm texting him. I'm like, our lights are off, what are we gonna do? He's like, oh, I don't have money until this day. And I'm like, and I don't get money until this day. So by the time he got home, it was the evening. And I spoke to the super. I borrowed an extension cord from him. Ran the extension cord from the hallway by the elevator, like outside by the elevator, into the apartment just to have my refrigerator plugged in so my food wouldn't go bad. And then I just lit a bunch of candles around the house. And I was just like, everything's gonna be okay.
I remember when I opened this, like, do I really want to open this space? Like, do I really want to invest as much money into what I'm doing here? I was like, oh, I don't know. I was like, man, shut up, dude.
To just see him every day evolve and just say, like, he literally says, this is what I want, this is what I'm gonna do. And then he does it and he gets it.
I don't know, I just couldn't live without trying. Regret, or the fear of regret is a pretty strong thing.
What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? Or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat? Or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load. Or does it explode?
In his poem Harlem, Langston Hughes questions what happens to a dream deferred. Truth is, they never go away. Living with the regret of not doing what you're most passionate about is a burdening feeling, something Ronald Draper chose not to live with. He didn't allow his dreams to become that heavy load. Instead, he decided to grab hold of them and make them his reality.
Can you believe that this turned into that? You know what I mean?
And it's just inspiring in such a huge way for me to be with someone, like get to spend each day of my life with someone like that. So like, I'm like, so like, I can't even like put it in exact words how proud of him I am.
And here he is, you know. And when you think about it, that's where he belonged.
This is Ronald Draper, artist, educator, art activist, and owner of the Draper Space Art Gallery. I once was somebody trapped in like a world that I thought I had to be in and where dreams didn't exist. I love inspiring people to follow their dreams and understand that no matter what anyone else says, do what you do. They need you. They don't know they need you yet because you haven't created something they can understand yet. So for everyone thinking that whatever you have done, whatever you have ever thought, if someone told you that was impossible, tell them to fuck off because it's not. It's impossible because they can't comprehend something that doesn't exist yet. So for everyone who doesn't want to dream, who's afraid to dream, who's been told not to dream, I dare you to dream.